Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be reviewing the Predator along with other automatic tapers to see what the real difference is with this beauty. Alright, hope you enjoy. So this is a Tapetech. This one is about, I want to say maybe 15 years old. It was my dad's. He gave it to me, so I'm going to keep this bad boy hopefully forever. But it still runs super smooth. Not a lot has changed from this one compared to the others throughout the years. Only recently manufacturers started coming out with a carbon fiber body, but you'll see one of those later on in the video. But yeah, this is solid. This is a kicker, the cutting sleeve. If you use one of these, you know what I'm talking about. But they're all pretty much the same. But this one's a Tapetech, still running strong after 15 years. Next one up is a Drywall Master Keane taper. This bad boy I got maybe I want to say it's about 1.5 years old. You can see we haven't really babied it. We've been using it daily. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as a Tapetech with a couple of key differences that I really enjoyed. This particular model has a little cylinder in here that has a red cap, and you can store your needles and blades inside. Right now it's in my truck since I took it off when I washed it when we last used it. The taping spool is a little bit different on this model as opposed to the Tapetech. Yeah, you can't really take it off so it won't get lost. That's a good plus. And one of my favorite things about this particular gun, I'll do a close-up in a little bit, but it's how easy you can take off this faceplate and put it back on. So that's one of the favorite things about this gun, is that there's no moving parts, nothing you can lose. You just hook up, take off, put back on. Next up is this Columbia taper. It's pretty much similar to the Drywall Masters that you've seen earlier. The only difference is the faceplate. It comes off with a grenade pin, so you can take it off to be able to clean it easily. The only setback to that is that there's a moving part that can get lost, and this one I find is a little bit harder to wiggle the in, but right now it's pretty good. But yeah, this is solid. I've had this for about, I think, going on 3 years now. It's a beautiful piece of equipment, lasts long. Next up is the Predator. We just got this bad boy maybe a month ago. My main reason for getting this was I wanted to see how light it was, because I mean all the tapers we already own are pretty efficient, you know, they run smooth. But I mean, this is beautiful just looking at it. It's a pretty sick looking piece of equipment. If you're a taper, you know what I mean. But it's not really that much lighter, honestly. But when it's full and you're running it throughout the day, you're not really feeling the difference as far as weight goes. So if you're thinking about getting it, kind of like how I was, to see like, oh, maybe when we're running the gun, it's a little bit less stress on your shoulder, you know. I didn't really feel a difference, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, this is a solid piece of equipment right here. But if you already own a lot of tapers and you know they're fairly new and they're running efficiently, then I mean, this was not that different, honestly. Everything is the same. Pretty much all the pieces on this older model are pretty much identical, with the exception of the cutting sleeve. This one is about, I want to say 30% smoother. This one is a little older, but I mean, you can tell a lot by when you first get this one's just smoother. So other than that, all the other major pieces are pretty identical. The only other thing they changed on the Predator as to this model is, let me put this down. There's a tension control on the tape wheel, which is pretty good, because if you run the fiber fuse like we do, it tends to run away when the wind hits it, and it tends to spin out of control, and you get all those itchy fibers all over you. But so that's pretty good. That's a good thing that they did. This is the older model Predator. I got a pretty good deal on it, so that's the only reason I bought this particular one and not the newest one that's out now. But it has a grenade pin. The newer one has the lever, so I haven't tried that out. But the grenade pin, I mean, it's not really major as long as you keep track when you're washing it. You keep track of where you're leaving it. You don't want to just put it on the side, because if you forget about it, then you're gonna have to order another one, because it's pretty much a perfect fit. Anyways, other than that, this thing is, the major difference, of course, is a carbon fiber body. We don't really live anywhere here in Hawaii. We're blessed with pretty warm weather throughout the year, so we don't really have to worry about extreme weather. But from what I hear is this stays nice and warm to the touch. So if you live somewhere where it snows, and I mean, I worked in California for a little bit, and I was crying about the water buckets being ice cold. So if you're running the gun all day, you really want to protect yourself. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's a plus. That would be a major deciding factor for me if I was thinking about getting it, just because supposedly it stays nice and warm. It cuts really smooth. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much similar to the rest of them. I think the newer one, I don't know if it's the same cutting sleeve or if they upgraded that too, but the new one has patent pending, I think it's a silicone inside, or a Teflon, something that the more you use it, the easier it gets to cut. So over time, the more and more you break it in, it's supposed to be easier and easier on you. So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't know if this particular model is the same as the newer ones that they have out, but as is right now, whether or not, if it does have that feature, it cuts smooth, it looks aggressive. You know, this thing is beautiful. But again, if you have a bunch of tapers already, and you know you're doing it more because you think it's gonna really lighten the load throughout the day, or really help you out if you have a bad shoulder or whatever, honestly, I don't think it will, unless it's like some sort of placebo effect. But if you're in the market to upgrade, let's say you have a taper kind of like this bad boy that it's been super good to you for 10, 15 years, or even 5 years, but it's beat up and you're looking to just upgrade, then this is a perfect option. It's only a couple $100 more, and I mean, I think it's worth the investment. This thing is beautifully made. Everything looks heavy duty. Looks like it's going to give you a trouble free for years. But yeah, I really enjoyed what they did to it. Even though a lot of it didn't change, a lot of it did change, if that makes any sense. The body is a major thing that they did. The sleeve, this rod, I don't know if it was just to make it look cooler or if it serves a purpose, but this thing looks super badass. And I mean, I really enjoyed this taper. It was a good purchase. But if you're looking for something that's really going to help you out, I strongly suggest the tall boy pump that they have. I'm going to do a review next week on pumps, but I bought that along with that one, and that really helped me out because I suffer from lower back pain. I didn't have to bend over every time to fill the gun. It was super easy. But anyway, we'll touch more on that next week. Honorable mentions are the Tapetech Mesh Monster. This bad boy is discontinued, but what it is, it's fiberglass bazooka. You put the fiberglass in here, and then you're able to reach ceilings. That's what we pretty much used it for. You can add an extension right here. So whenever we had really high ceilings that we were going to hot mud that same day,